Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are back in a different kind of video. So in Sunday's video, we spoke about the Minecraft bundle as they are making a return inside of a future update. So in today's video, I thought why not talk about another scrapped update? And I did mention this slightly inside of the bundle video, but this is the combat update. Now inside of Minecraft 1.9, Minecraft changed combat and a lot of people didn't like it. Meaning that if you're a Java player, a lot of people stayed in 1.8 and lower. Around the time of 1.15 and 1.16, Minecraft were working on a combat test snapshot, which was only available for Java edition, and you could only get it by downloading it from Minecraft.net or Reddit. It wouldn't appear in the launcher like current snapshots do. Well, I'm currently inside of this test snapshot, now obviously due to it being in 1.15. We don't have any features from 1.16, 17 and onwards. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the features they did add into this, not all of them, some of them, and ones that I would like to see moved into the current version of the game in Minecraft 1.22, or just in minor releases to fix combat slightly. But the first change that I want to note is swords. Swords were given attack reach inside of this snapshot test. You can see that they all have free attack reach. The damage is a lot lower, like for example the diamond sword is 6, I think in current versions it is 7. But the thing is, with the diamond sword being 6, that means the iron sword is 5. And then the wooden, the stone, and the golden are all the same. There's no difference between these three swords, which obviously I think that would need to change. So let's quickly just show off the attack reach. So if I was to put a zombie inside of here, I'm using husk just because they don't burn in the daytime. So standing on the front end of this block, it is currently 3 blocks in between us. If I was to punch with my fist, you can see I'm not doing any damage, no matter where I hit. But if I was to pull out the sword, you can see I can hit the husk. And that is thanks to the attack reach, which is basically extending the range at which we can reach. Now, is that the same for axes? Axes don't have that attack reach. So that makes the swords unique in the way that they can reach a lot further than axes. I kind of like that. So you can see if I punch with my fist, I cannot hit the husk. If I punch with a sword, I can hit the husk. If I punch with the axe, I cannot hit the husk. But there is one thing, if you spam with your sword, you cannot hit the husk, because the attack reach only works when the sword is fully charged. So if I was to hit the husk, you can see I cannot hit fully until the sword is fully charged, which I think that is a good thing, and I think that should definitely be added to swords, because then it's like a counteract, so you either want to do more damage or you want to hit from further away, as that'll make swords be useful again in a different way. So if you care more about damage, then axes are the way to go, but if you don't really care about that much damage, but you maybe like to keep your distance from mobs a bit more, then the sword is the way to go. But you can also spam your sword inside of this version, but you have to be pretty close, and spamming your sword does do damage, but not as much damage as if you was to wait for it to fully charge. Tridents do also have attack reach, and they have 0.5 more than a sword, because swords have 3, and tridents have 3.5, which I think is good because that once again does make it a little bit better as a melee item rather than a ranged, as the trident does actually do more damage than a diamond sword, as diamond swords do 6, tridents do 7, and they have more attack reach. Now, one other change that was made to tridents is impaling. Currently inside of Java, impaling is a very weird enchantment because it only works on some fish mobs. Inside of Bedrock, it works on any mob that is underwater, I think. Well, inside of this, they have changed it, so it does more damage to any mob that is inside of rain or water. So, for example, if I was to throw some at this husk, that is 1, that is 2, that is 3. Why did that second one show not enchanted? That's weird. Oh, there we go. It was a visual thing. So that was 3 hits to kill that husk. So now if I was to set the weather to rain and throw the trident, it killed it in 1 hit, so 2 trident hits less. I think that's really cool for impaling, and I think that should also be in the vanilla game, as that just makes impaling a little bit more useful. Now, there is a new enchantment called chopping, which comes in levels 1 to 3. We'll cover a little bit more about that in a second. There was also some minor changes to things like snowballs. These now stack up to 64, whereas in the vanilla game they stack up to 16, I think. They do also provide knockback. The mob gets knocked back slightly, and if you basically combo them, you can make a mob go flying, which I think this is how they worked in the like Xbox edition of the game, but then it was changed. And in Java, I think they provide no knockback. That was kind of cool. because we made it accumulate full damage, it just instantly died when it touched the ground. Did I do it with a skeleton? And if I stop, the skeleton takes full damage as well. I'm guessing that's a bug, because this obviously is experimental, but I guess that's also kind of cool. Now, inside of one of the test snapshots, potions stacked up to 16. It doesn't seem like that's the case for this one, because as you can see, I'm clicking on them, and there's only stacking up to 1. And if I tried to make them stack higher, they don't. So I'm guessing that was reverted. Also, splash potions don't stack, and neither do lingering potions. But I definitely think it would be cool for potions to stack up to more than 1, maybe 16 or even 8. Now, the shield. The shield does also have some changes inside of the combat testing. So the shield does have quite a few changes. If we go inside of accessibility, there is this shield on crouch, which is basically a control like in Bedrock. In Bedrock Edition, the only way to activate your shield is by crouching. It don't currently work, but I'm guessing if you was to crouch, your shield would be activated. Let's just see if it's inverted. So if I turn it off, does it then work? No, so it seems like it's just completely bugged. Now there is one other shield option, and that is the shield indicator, which you can have as off, hotbar, or crosshair. Now if I quickly just do this as hotbar, you are looking just to my hotbar right here. When I enable the shield, you can see a shield symbol shows, which I do like that, because it means that if you have, for example, a resource pack that lowers your shield or removes the shield, there is still an indicator if you are shielding or not. But this can be turned off. If we do it off, you can see there is nothing when I shield. It don't show any symbolization apart from when the shield goes in front of your screen. And then you have the crosshair, which just shows it below your crosshair like the attack indicator. Now I've got all the patch notes for these test snapshots up, and one thing I do want to mention, there was a option to hide the shield, but that was removed. I definitely think this option should be in the game, so it don't require resource packs to do. So now let's quickly just cover chopping. Chopping is a new enchantment for the axe. It comes from levels 1 to 3. Now this is going to be a bit hard to show because of what it does. So you can see the attack damage with no chopping enchantment is currently at 7. With chopping it goes up to 10. But as well as giving you 1 damage per level, it does also give you 0.5 of a second to stunning a shield. So if you was to hit a player that has a shield enabled, it would stun the player's shield for an extra 0.5 seconds. So you can stun it for an extra 1.5 seconds depending on if you have level 3. Which, what is that? That must have spawned from a thunderstorm. Which means that in PvP, it would be good to have chopping. I think the reasoning for making these balanced, apart from the shield, is no mob inside of the vanilla game has shields. So this means that for PvE, the shield part of this enchantment is completely pointless. Now going back to attack reach, you can see that the only things that have attack reach in tool-wise are swords and hoes. Hoes do also have attack reach, which is 3.5, the same as a trident. I don't really know what this means though, because the damage isn't good. And I can reach this block with my hand, but I can also reach it with a hoe, and I can't reach no further, so the attack reach doesn't really affect how far you can hoe. And a hoe isn't really that good weapon. I just wanted to jump back into this because they haven't updated this or updated us on what's happening with this in about 4 years. The last version to released around, I think it was January of 2020. We are now currently in July of 2024. And it's also weird that these were never like real snapshots. None of these features we saw come to Bedrock. Although I think some features made inside of these experimental snapshots were added to Java as bug fixes. Like there was a lot of knockback changes made in these, which I think were made to Java fixing bugs. So we have seen some minor tweaks, but not the major ones to do with PvP. But anyway, that is it for this video. If you did enjoy, do like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comments, and let me know what you guys think about these snapshots. Is it something you would like to see in the game, or is it something that you definitely think needs to be reworked? But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.